Some more reaction to what was another great night for Arsenal now, and speak live to Sophie Nicolau from the Highbury Squad podcast. Sophie, always a joy. Great to see you. What a night. How proud are you feeling right now of your team?
Hannah and Olivia, I'm exhausted rewatching all of that again, but I'm more than happy to watch highlights from these two legs over and over again. Very proud of the team. It's a joy to be an Arsenal fan this morning, and I think that we had a performance like that coming. It felt like a seminal moment and a coming of age for Mikel Arteta and this squad.
I mean, Sophie, Declan Rice turned into Lionel Messi in the first leg, and he was absolutely outstanding again in the second, but for different reasons. Where do you think he ranks amongst the Arsenal midfielders? Because you've had so many brilliant ones over the years.
Yeah, I mean, you saw both sides of Declan in the two legs. In the first leg, it was magical. Two free kicks that any player, including Messi, would be totally proud of. And then last night, you saw Declan Rice, the warrior. He was all over the pitch. He did exactly what Mikel Arteta wanted him to do, protected the ball, moved the ball, had Jude Bellingham in his back pocket. It was great to see, you know, two of England's best go at it. And I would like to put the question of whether or not Declan Rice is world-class to bed. Can we finally do that? Because I think he's proven over these two legs that he's well worth the 100 million that we paid for him. But also, he has this culture and personality that makes him feel like he's been an Arsenal player and come through the Hale End, and that he's been with the Gunners his entire career. It was just a beautiful moment to see a player like that own Real Madrid and have the spotlight.
Yes, Sophie, no question really about where he sort of ranks in terms of world-classness at this point. And Bukayo Saka's penalty being saved made the night perhaps a little bit more nervy than it needed to be. I'm sure you were tearing your hair out and that hat got ripped off. But what did you make of that? And then as well, hit the goal he did score.
I think Arsenal WhatsApp groups were absolute fire. But, you know, we were all suffering from PTSD. No one could kind of watch. But Bukayo has put this team on his shoulders for so many years now. And if there was a player who had earned the right to try that, it is Bukayo. Maybe not in a semi-final at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid. However, he's the type of player that just doesn't hide. And in a time when Arsenal really didn't have too much to cheer about, you know, Bukayo was the player that really gave fans something to love about the club again. And he's been absolutely sensational. His record speaks for itself. And to come back and not hide, you know, and to be able to kind of immerse himself back into the game, shake it off, just shows the mentality monster that he's become. He's not only a world-class footballer, but he also mentally just continues to amaze me with how he's able to bounce back from adversity within a game. And I tell you, he's just an absolute, they call him the star boy. I think it's time that everyone started calling him the star man, because seeing him evolve the way he has just been really an amazing thing to witness.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think Saka himself will probably have learnt from that penalty as well. And the way he came back was absolutely brilliant. Now, Arsenal in general, they had the fewest shots of any side across those quarterfinals, both legs. But they had the joint most shots on target and scored 5 goals. Now, with PSG next, should PSG be worried? I mean, I watched the PSG-Aston Villa game, and the chances that Aston Villa had across both fixtures, are you worried about PSG at all? Should PSG be more worried about Arsenal, perhaps?
I think because of the Premier League history and Unai Emery's record against Mikel Arteta, most Arsenal fans would rather face PSG than Aston Villa. You've got the Premier League rivalry there as well. Now, we may not have a great pedigree in Europe, and last night is going towards maybe evolving that. But what we do have a great pedigree in Europe is PSG and our record against PSG. They've never beaten us in Europe. And I'm rocking the bow tie today here for my former co-host and good friend, Super Kevin Campbell, who probably would have been on the show today rocking his bow tie. The last time that we won a European trophy was the Cup Winners' Cup in '94, Super Kev scoring a pivotal goal against PSG in the second leg at Highbury. So I think most Arsenal fans will feel confident going into this game. I'm sure we're going to hear a similar narrative. Can they do it the same way we did against Real Madrid? We proved everybody wrong. Luis Enrique, I think, is a very underrated manager. They tried to do it the Galacticos way with Neymar and Messi and Mbappe, and it didn't work at PSG. And now they've got a young team, an exciting team, and they're probably playing the sexiest football of any team in Europe right now. It's not going to be easy, but Arsenal playing against teams like PSG, not as defensive, I think gives us a really good opportunity to take advantage the same way we did against the Galacticos.
Sophie, you mentioned Ken Campbell, loving the bow tie detail on your mic as well, in a nod to the great man. I think I know how you're going to answer this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Yes or no, will Arsenal win the Champions League?
Why not us? We've come this far. You know, hope is not a plan, but dreaming is part of football, and it's a beautiful moment for the club. And Mikel Arteta deserves a tremendous amount of credit, especially considering the adversity we faced with injuries this season. You know, some people say we've regressed in the Premier League. We haven't done as well, but in the Champions League, we're a different personality. We've taken on a different persona. And a shout out to players like Kiwior and Merino, who've had to step in, unsung heroes. And because of players like that, you know, maybe we can go all the way. Everyone's stepping up and doing their part. We're playing like a team with confidence. We've got the belief. We've got the eye of the tiger. Come on, the Arsenal.
Sophie, look, enjoy it all. And thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you can get some rest now as well after what was quite the night.
Thanks, guys.